Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we are going to take a look at how to do file upload in the front end. So in the last video we have seen how we can do file upload using the backend. We have created a file upload service using Spring Boot. So as you can see, we have a good design using Material UI. On the left part you can see a drag and drop window, so you can actually drop files to here and upload it. And when we drop files here, it will show a preview on the right side. So I'll show an example. When you drop a file, you get the preview. When you click on the upload button, it gets uploaded and you get a success button. So I'll show you in Flow 3G so that you get to see the file upload progress. So let's drop one more file, click on upload. As you can see the progress is moving. So let's go and increase it a little bit more to fast 3G, and now the speed has increased, and once we keep on online it finishes. So the file is uploaded, and if you want to view the file, we can click on the file URL. So you can see the file URL there. If you keep tooltip, you can see the file URL localhost 8080, which is our service. So I uploaded the file there. So the clips we are running the file service that we created in the last video. So if you want to take a look at the last video, I have given the description above. I'll put the description in the link below, and also on top you can use the button to select that. Yeah, so let's start the video. So first we'll create the app using npx create react app. We will name it react file upload. Let's finish till it installation is completed. Now let's start the project. So we'll need to use iron start. Yeah, now we have the default react file. Now we need to install some more libraries for the project actually. So we are using Material UI. We can add at Material UI /core, at Material UI /icons. So we will be using the icons as well. Then we need that React dropzone for drag and drop file upload, and we will use ClassX library for maintaining classes, and we need the Axios library for XML HTTP request. As such, XML HTTP request will enable us to view the file upload progress. So that's why we are going to use Axios instead of it. So let's wait till the installation finishes. Now as we have finished the basic setup, let's open it in another window. As you can see, we have all the folders listed here for the create react app. Now we need to do some cleanup actually. From the source we can actually go to app.js and remove the import for logo and app.css. Let's clean the content. Let's also remove the enclosing div, and we'll return an empty fragment. That's all for app.js. Let's go to index.css. We don't need this, so we'll delete it. Let's go into index.js and let's remove the index.css import. Now let's delete the app.test.js. Okay, I think we have covered everything. So let's add something to the app to return it. We will import app bar from Material UI. So let's import app bar from Material UI core / app bar. Now let's import the toolbar. So whatever comes under the app bar, it needs to be in the toolbar. We'll now import typography so that we can give some text. We'll include something called CSS baseline from Material UI core. So CSS baseline, what it actually does is it resets all the browser based properties like margin, padding, etc., so that it actually normalizes the styles across browsers. So we'll import that at the top, and then we'll use the app bar component. Let's give the position as fixed so that the app bar stays on top, and we'll use the toolbar inside the app bar. Inside the toolbar, we'll give the typography. We'll use the variant of H6, so it will be an heading. Let's give the text as React file upload. We'll do a yarn start. Yeah, so we can see the Material UI app bar now in our project. Now let's go and add one more toolbar. So as our app bar is position fixed, we need to give a margin top for the content coming after it. So this we can provide using toolbar. As the margin can vary on responsive sizes, we need to add a toolbar. Next we'll import container, which is a container component that comes with the Material UI. So if you are familiar with the Bootstrap and all, there's a container, so it is similar to that. We'll also import paper. So paper is mainly a card, so it has a box shadow, like elevated property that you see in Material UI. Then we'll import grid. So grid is actually a grid system that is built into Material UI. It makes use of Flexbox. Now we'll add the container and also the paper. Inside the paper we'll add a grid. So the grid has some properties. So this grid will set as a container. So grid container is just like giving a div with display flexbox. So inside that we can have so many grid items. So here we can see we are specifying a prop called item, and also we are giving something called access. So this will give the styling for small screens up to the largest screen. So we are going to expand this grid fully to the screen, and inside that we are giving a typography which will be aligning to center and a padding of 16. So we'll just name a heading there called file upload. Now we will provide a divider so that there's a separation between that heading. So we will use default import everywhere, so that the file sizes, that the loading modules that are loaded are smaller. Now let's look at the, we can see that the file upload and the divider and the paper with the box shadow. Now to beautify this, maybe we can give a margin top, and also we can reduce the width of the container. We will add one more toolbar to solve that margin top problem. So now we can see there is a margin top. Now to the container, we can reduce the container width. So what we can do is, container has a max width property, so we can set the max width prop to MD. So this will be like for medium size. Yeah, now we can see it's actually like centered. To the paper we can add some more elevation, like 4, so that like it's more prominent, the box shadow. We'll provide another grid item. So for this item we will give the XS 6. So the grid is actually divided into 12 columns. So whatever we give in the props like XS, MD, SM, etc., we get as like they will be equally divided according to the responsive sizes. So XS means it will be from the smallest screen to the largest. So now we are dividing it into 2 halves, and we'll give a padding 60. Now in the paper we'll add one more paper with elevation 0. So for this we'll give a class name of drop zone container. So this will contain our drop zone. It will have an input to which we'll pass the drop zone properties. Also we need a paragraph tag. Here we'll just give some text to like drop your files or click to upload. Now we'll go and import the drop zone. We'll import use drop zone hook from React drop zone. Also we'll import something called root ref from Material UI. So all the Material UI components actually have the direct ref we can't access, it only has a forward ref. So if you want something like a direct ref, we can use the root ref component in Material UI, and to which where you need the root ref, you can give it on encapsulate that component inside root ref. So now we are going to include the root ref, and we'll make the paper inside the root ref. We'll now use the use drop zone hook. So we can declare that inside that we'll pass a prop of multiple folds. So we only need to drag and drop a single file at a time. So we'll make the multiple folds. So from the use drop zone hook we'll get root props and get input props. So get input props will provide to the input that inside our drop zone, and get root props to the container holding the drop zone. We'll also provide an on drop callback. So this is called every time we drop a file or select a file. So let's declare the on drop callback. You'll make use of the React use callback hook. So this callback will get an accepted file. So this is the files that are dropped. So currently we will be only getting one file, but still it's an array. So we'll just console log the accepted files. classes is not defined, so we need to like make the classes. So what we'll do is we'll import make styles from Material UI. So make styles is a function that we can use to create some classes for the Material UI components, and general classes also we can provide for other components as well. So it uses some of the properties in Material UI. So let's actually declare a function that makes use of make styles. So we'll name it use styles. So make styles accepts a callback in which we will get a theme variable. First we'll style the dropzone container. So we'll give it a height of 300. We'll give it a background color of hash EFEFF, which is a light gray, and we can give the display as flex. We'll align the items to center. Also we'll use justify content to center. We give the border style as dashed, and also border color as hash AAA. Now let's import the classes. So we'll declare the classes variable and use the use styles function that we created. Make styles don't define. It's make styles. Now we'll restructure ref and other root props from the get root props function that we get from the use dropzone. So we will provide that ref to the root ref, and the other root props will provide it to the paper element. So that will be our container actually. And for the input, we'll use the get input props. We'll spread the get input props function. Now let's take a look. We have initialized on drop before. Okay, sorry. So the on drop is actually initialized before it is called. So we'll after it is called. So we'll move it to on top. Now let's take a look. Yeah, now you can see the dropzone container. Now let's click on it, and you can see the file window opening. Let's just open a folder and try to drag and drop. Yeah, it's actually dropping. So as to see that, let's go to the console. Oh sorry, we have some error. We have not provided root ref. Oh okay, so the root ref we actually provide ref, so this is not a prop. We can change it to root ref. Let's look at it again. Now let's click on the dropzone once again. Let's select a picture. As you can see in the console, we can see the file. So at the 0th index we have all the file properties. So our left portion of the grid is complete. Now we need to complete the right portion, which is our preview. So let's add a grid item and give it access to 6. We'll give a style of padding of 16. So here we'll provide a typography, and it will be aligned to the center. The variant for this we are going to use is subtitle 1. So let's name it preview. Now we will add an image tag, so this will contain the image for our preview. Let's provide a class for this, so we name it class.preview. We need to provide a source. So by default what we'll do is we'll provide a placeholder image. So let's place the URL for placeholder image. Now we can see the preview portion. So what we need to do is we need to align it to the center. Now let's provide the class for preview. So we will give a width of 250 and a height of 250. We will give a margin of auto and display of block so that it is centered. We will give a margin bottom of 60. Let's change this to using the theme variable. So we'll change theme dot spacing of 2. Yeah, that should do it, I think. Okay, we will also provide object with content so that the whatever preview image it is contained inside that box. So we can see that preview is now correctly centered. We will now provide a divider after the image tag. And we will add a new grid container actually. So we'll give the container prop. Let's also give a style of margin top of 16. We'll align the items to the center. So next we'll use a grid item, so and we'll give the access to 2. To add the upload icon with that progress, we'll go to the material UI documentation. We will search for the progress component. So inside the progress documentation we can see something called interactive integration. So when we click on that, green circular progress is shown and it changes to tick mark when it's completed. So this is the code for it. So we can actually copy some of the code from here. So we'll copy the entire div with the wrapper and the circular progress. Let's copy and paste inside that grid. Now we need to import some more things. So let's go to the top in the documentation and we'll copy most of the things from there. First we'll copy everything from till the make styles and we'll paste that here. Now we'll copy the ClassX import and also we'll paste that here. We have already installed ClassX. We'll change the save icon to cloud upload icon. Let's also change that in the container. So save icon will change to cloud upload. So we need to copy some more things like success loading, etc. So we'll copy that. First we'll copy the styles from the make styles. So we'll grab everything instead of the root and paste it inside our make styles. Now let's copy the loading and success states that is created inside the component. Let's define that here also. So we have the loading and success state. So the loading state is when the file is uploaded and success state happens when file upload completes. We'll also copy the button class name class that is defined using ClassX. In the fab button on the on click, we will provide a function. We will name this function as upload file. So this is what we will be using for uploading the file. So when we click on the fab button, we will call the upload file function. So we will declare an empty upload file function for now. We need to add two more states. So first state is the file state. So this will carry the file that we picked or selected from the dropzone container. We'll initialize it to an undefined state, and next we will have the preview, and this will hold the preview URL that needs to be shown in the preview container. So this also we'll just use react.useState. Now inside the onDrop callback, we will use the set file to set the state of the file. So we'll pass the accepted files of 0, which contains our particular picked file. And now we need to declare a preview URL. We can make the preview URL using url.createObject URL, and we can pass the accepted files of 0, which is our file. So this will create a URL that can be shown in the source tag of image. So now let's set that preview to the preview URL. Let's provide the image tag with the preview source, and if it's not there, we'll show the placeholder. So first we have the placeholder. When we click and upload a file, yeah, it's shown in the preview. So now you can see the uploaded file in preview. Let's try with another file. So that changes to the other file. The URL which we created using the create object URL, we need to actually remove that once we have loaded the image. So this is actually to free resources. So we will call something called url.revoke object URL, and we'll pass in the preview URL which we have in the preview state. Now we'll add the rest of the item with the access equal to 10. So this will contain our file progress. So here we will show the file progress as well as the file name as well, and also the percentage of how much is completed. So first we will use a typography to display the file name. Here we will use a variant of body. Currently we will put a constant of file name. Now for showing the progress, we need a component from Material UI called linear progress. So we'll first declare a div. So inside that we'll provide the linear progress. The linear progress variant we are going to use is determinate, as we know what value we are going to pass, and we have to show a determinate percentage, and we have a value prop. Currently we will just pass it 100 to it. And we need actually one more component. So in this we will in a div we will provide typography, and this will contain our percentage. So currently we will just give it 100. We will also use the body variant here. Now if you take a look, yes, we can see the upload icon and the progress. Now we'll provide some styles for the percentage we are showing. So we'll make it a display flex, and we'll align the items to center. Also we'll provide justify content to center so that it remains on the sender. Now let's take a look at preview. Yeah, now the percentage is on the sender. So actually we only need to show this part if there is a file. If there is no file, we need not show the file name. So let's change the file name and we make it file.name, which is the from the state we set for the file. So now the bottom portion after the preview, from the divider to the grid after that, so where we show the progress, we don't need to show that if the file is not picked. So what we'll do is like till there we'll put a fragment, and we can put some conditions such that only if the file is loaded we'll show that. So let's put a fragment there, and as a condition we'll provide file. So only if the file is there we will show the progress components. Now you can see that it's not there, so let's select a file, and now it appears. Now we will write our upload file function. So we have already declared it as empty. Now we go inside it and we'll make the function async, as we have to call the API and all. So first we'll import Axios. Inside the upload file function we'll first declare a try catch block. So we'll catch an error and alert if there is any error. So we'll use the error.message to alert any error. Next we need to set the loading to true. So when the file upload starts, we'll show that circular progress. So for that we'll set loading to true. Next thing is like we need to declare the form data body we are using is form data, as we are using multi-part form to upload the file. So we need to initialize a form data using new form data, and the form data contains an instance method called append. So to this we'll append the name of the form which is the file, and also the content which is the file state we have. Now we need to declare the API URL. So this is the one we created in the last video, the Spring service. So it is at localhost 8080/files. Now we will write our Axios request. So this is a put request, and we will pass in the API URL. Also we will pass in the form data. We need to pass in some options as well. So in the options we have something called on upload progress. So this is the event that contains the progress that can be shown. So we get a progress event from it. So we'll calculate the percent completed using the progress event. So we can use math.round to round the progress event to a round value. So we will use something called progress event.loaded, which is the bytes loaded, and we'll into that to 100. So we will divide that by progress event.total. Now we will get the percentage that is completed, and we need a new state to set the percentage. So we'll name it the state as percent, and we'll use a set percent file. So we can declare a use state function here also. Initially the percent will be 0. Now we can set the percentage. Now we need to set the download URI that we get from the response. So for that we'll add a new state called download URI. and a function of set download URI. We'll use the use state hook, and the initial value is nothing. So once we get the response after we await, we'll set the download URI, and from the response.data we will take the file download URI field that we get from it. It's file download URI. So this is what we have set in the last service that we wrote in the last video. If you look at the file response.java class, you can see the file download URI. So once the download URI is set, we will set the set loading to false. So now our loading is over. We'll also use the set success, which we need to show for the check icon. So we'll set the success true once the API is completed, and when we initialize the upload, we'll give set success of false. Now if the file upload is success, we will actually show the file URL. So we'll use a typography for that, and inside that we will show the file upload success, and we'll also provide a link to the file URL. So we will use an anchor tag for this, and in the href we will provide the file download URI. We'll provide a target of blank so that it opens in another window. Now let's take a look at the preview. Oh, we have an error, cannot access person before initialization. So let's go to the code and look at the setting of percentage. Percent, so we'll change that to percent, set percent. Also we have given percent as the use state. It should be 0 actually. We'll change the set percent name in the file upload function as well. Okay, now let's take a look at the preview. Yes, we don't have an error now. Let's select a file. We see the upload button. Let's click on it. File upload is success. We see the file upload URL. When you click on the URL, we see the URL from the service. To see the progress in the network tab, we'll make it as slow 3G. Yeah, we'll select slow 3G, and we'll select some file. When we click on the upload, we can see the progress is not to be seen. Yeah, we have not actually given the variable to that percent. So let's go into the percent component. In the linear progress, we will change the value to percent, and also to the 100%, we'll change it to the percent state. Yeah, now let's take a look. Let's move it back to slow 3G. Let's select a file, and we click on upload. You can see the percentage. We saw that we have too many decimal values, so we need to change that. Let's go to the on upload file. Okay, our math.round does not have a bracket, so it's actually dividing the math.round variable with the progress event.total. So we'll provide a bracket between those calculation. Now let's try once more. We'll select a file. We select a file and we click on upload. Now we can see the percentage correctly, and once it's completed we can check the check mark. When we click on the file URL, we'll see the URL which is from the service. We can actually set success to false when once we on drop callback is called, because we are loading a new file now. So let's go into the preview. Let's select a file and upload it. Let's select another file. Yeah, now the success is gone and we get the older upload button. So as you can see, we have created a nice beautiful component for file upload, and we have made use of the service that we created in the first video, and we have created a drop zone file picker, and when we upload the file we will show the percentage completed. So we are using the service that created from the last video. So if you have liked the video, please share, subscribe and click on the bell icon for further notifications.